Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to do some simple lamp work with wiring using tools you might have at home. I acknowledge that there are tools that are built more specifically for these tasks, but I designed this video around average tools most people would have in their home that if you know what you're doing a little bit, which by the end of this video you should, you can use. Tools we'll be using today are a standard screwdriver, preferably one with interchangeable bits, an X-Acto knife, a pair of scissors, and a hot glue gun with hot glue. So now that you know your tools, I'm going to show you what we'll be working with. First and foremost will be some electrical wire. This can be found easily at any hardware store or broken appliances that you are about to throw out. Save the cord. Because if the cord's not the problem, it's going to save you a step because it already comes with a plug attached. But for those that don't come with a plug attached, I'm going to show you some basics on how to attach a plug. So this is a standard plug you can get at any hardware store. They're a couple of bucks. To start, we're just going to unscrew it and pop it open. And this style has a screw on either side for the prongs. I'm just going to screw that screw in a little bit more so I don't lose it. So, if you're using a type of wire that just has 2 sets of copper filaments, this is fairly easy. Step 1 with your wire is to take an end and splice it a bit. This is where your X-Acto knife comes in. Split up a bit. And just to get a rough idea of length, it should meet your connectors, and then adjust a bit more for slack. Now, there are wire strippers, but if you are careful, a pair of scissors, just gently, not pressing all the way through, go around the wire. And it should start to weaken. I'm going a little looser than I should. Eventually you'll get a point where you can just snip around ever so cautiously. And you'll see the copper filament. See, redacted because I used my teeth to pull that off. My dentist is watching. No, I did not. And then we just twist the wires together. And repeat for the opposite end. Just being gentle. And so gently snip around the corner. Crease. Pull it off. Twist. So now you've got your wire prepped. This is the same process that we'll need to do for the sockets and pretty much prepping your wire. It's a little easy and probably the least nerve-wracking part unless you are trying not to cut through the wire. So then we bend these little copper wires, little hooks, and get them over these screws and tighten the screw in. It holds the wire. Give it a little tug. It's in there nice and secure. Repeat on the other end. Screw it in, give it a little tug. There's little nubs to hold the wire. Keep it out of the way. Close your case. Screw in your outside screw. And congratulations! You've just put an outlet on the end of a cord. Now, if this was all you need to do with your lamp, you've just fixed a lamp. Or basically any electronic. That's the easy part. In this current case, do not plug it in to test. Step we're going to do is I'm going to prep this end. More or less the same way. And we're going to use a standard brass socket. Now, these come in a multitude of ways. This one is designed so that you can control the switch somewhere else other than the socket, but you can get a simple push switch, chain pull, or dial version of these. They all cost about $5. They come apart fairly easily, and this is the main part you'll be working with. Just going to prep these cords. Feel like Bob Ross. Just make a happy little incision. Excuse me for doing some things off camera. Just makes it easier. And there we go. Wires prepped on the other end. We do the exact same thing. Oops. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. You run the wires through the base. There's normally a base screw. So just loosen that up or take it out. Both work. Run your wires through. And this little hook under the screw. Hold it there and oops. Give it a good tightening. All right, we're back to recording. Just give it a little tightening. And there it is. There's one. The hook. Just splice it a little. We'll part the wire a little for your needs. Hook it on. And tighten it up. And you might want to adjust it a bit after you get it there. So it works best. I'm going to respin this one just to be safe. Hook. Now, bad hook. And sometimes they're a little finicky. And so what we have right now is the base, the socket, and the socket is wired. And we have the other top part of the socket, which comes with a nice little cardboard or cover. And there's little tabs that you line up and push in. I'm not going to quite get to the point because I am going to test these before I 100% put them together. But that is a basic socket. Now, if you're building something a little different, you might want something like this. Now this cord already comes with a plug and has a switch. This was salvaged from a busted lamp. And I'm going to use this more heavy-duty socket because I'm going to stick it in my greenhouse. This one, taking off the first wires, these are easy because it came pre-done. Just give them a little spin and make them little hooks. Like that. And let's prep the cord. You don't have to do an outlet. All we have to do is focus on connecting it to the socket. Split the wire. Give it a little bit of breathing room. Gently trim around the wire a bit. Pull off the plastic. Up the wire. Repeat on other end. Oops. Twist, and you're good. All right. So once you've got that prepped, this is the end. You've got your hooks ready on this side. I do another twist on. and have them connect together. Now at this point, being careful, I'm going to test the connection. So, keeping the wires apart, we're just to plug her in, and it lights up. That is a good sign. Unplug your light. You know it works now. It's time to protect your connections. And this is where your hot glue gun comes in. Because, being basically rubber, it helps insulate copper wires. I'm just going to a little more control. Just trying to get some on there right now. Keep them apart. Normally I do this a little differently, but I'm trying to record, so I got a bit of a challenge. So this technique, I state, is good for a few little things. One, where they're more jerry-rigged and you don't care what they look like. And two, for ones where the internal product is hidden. And I'm sure all of you understand we are working with electricity here. So be careful, test, make sure your connections are good. Hot glue is hot. All that important stuff. Once you've got the coating on them, you can kind of pair them back together. And I'm just gonna let that cool for a minute. And final step we'll do with this one is we're gonna bust out some electrical tape. I guess while we wait for that, we can test this one. So this is a simple one that right now does not have any switch in it whatsoever. So it's just going to turn off and on when I plug it in. Works. We'll put the screw back in to lock the cord. And that is good to go. And this is nice and hard now. And then we're just going to go over this. Nice and easily. With some electrical tape. So you get a little over connection. Circle back around. Make sure every part is covered. Come on. Glue. give it another test because it's a lot easier to take off electrical tape when you've just put it on than it is to wait a while. And we're working. Our switch works. And we're good to go. So there's a little basic of how to install a socket using basic tools that I'd assume everybody would have in their house. And just a few cheap parts from the hardware store. In this time, I'm going to encourage you, if you are going to try this project, to buy the parts online and have either curbside pickup or them delivered to you. Please stay indoors to avoid the spread of COVID-19. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a few more different little videos on basic repairs and how to do stuff like this, but if there is an interest, I'm happy to do more, so just let me know in the comments. Thank you.